the babies, and I will be your program director this morning. And the reason we are here is because the Department of Social Development, in partnership with United States Agency for International Development, is launching the Government to Government program that is all about implementing social behavioral change programs. Now, it's so important for Department of Social Development to start at the grassroots levels. I'm talking about the youths. So the department has flagship programs titled Yolo le ChommY. So they focus their attention on the youth between the ages of 10 and 24. Toko Chaile, a little something about what Yolo aims to do. Yolo aims to build young people's self-esteem, confidence, self-efficiency, resiliency to deal with adverse situations. You can see for yourself what the pandemic of COVID-19 has done to our society. So we need those youths to tap into that self-belief and be resilient to come up with solutions to the current problems that we have. Now, when we talk about ChommY, it targets those who are between 10 and 14 years old, and it's all about encouraging young boys and girls to motivate one another to minimize being involved in risky behaviors. Now, the Government to Government program will assist Department of Social Development to scale up these programs in two provinces, KZN and Gauteng. So without further ado, I would like to acknowledge our esteemed guests who are joining us virtually, of course, and those who are in studio with me right now. I'd like to start out with Minister of Social Development, Honorable Ms. Lindiwe Zulu, KwaZulu-Natal Premier Mr. Sihle Zikalala, Deputy Minister Social Development Me Ipileng Bogopane Zulu, as well as Gauteng MEC of Social Development Dr. N. Mukhethi, KwaZulu-Natal MEC of Social Development Ms. N. Khoza, and USAID Mission Director Mr. John Grok. Representatives from Ekurhuleni Metro, City of Johannesburg, as well as eThekwini Metro are also here joining us this morning. Members of the media, as well as our contributors for our launch of the Government to Government program in partnership with USAID. Gale amuhela, welcome, and I am going to cross over to Ntate Nkeres Khosana to tell us the purpose of the event.
Thank you, Smash. Let me start first by passing my greetings to the Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu, Ubabu Sihle Zikalala, the Premier of KZN, Me Ipileng Bogopane Zulu, Deputy Minister for Social Development, the MEC for Social Development in Gauteng, Dr. Mukhethi, and the MEC for Social Development in KZN, Me Khoza, including the Mission Director for USAID, Mr. John Grok, and by that say all protocol observed. It is indeed a historic moment for us today, not only because of the event we are hosting, but because significantly, not very far from here, is being laid to rest a stalwart of our struggle, a veteran of the Rivonia trial, Ntate Andrew Mokete Mlangeni. He is being laid to rest at the age of 95, and we want to thank him and all the stalwarts of the struggle, because it's because of their sacrifice that all of us are able to stand here today and speak in these platforms. We want to say, Tautona, Sebata, Urudumedisetse pele mo yang, Istwalandwe, Saparangwe, Raleboha. Having said that, Program Director, let me say that our purpose here is threefold. One is that we want to proclaim to the country the partnership that the Department of Social Development, representing the government of South Africa, and USAID, representing the government of the United States of America, coming into a partnership in a government-to-government partnership, where, as Mesh had said, we will be targeting young people between the ages of 10 and 17 through programs called ChommY and Yolo. That's the first proclamation that we want to do as part of our purpose. The second one is to hand over this project to the leadership of the two provinces of KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng, including the 3 districts of Ekurhuleni Metro, the city of Joburg, and eThekwini Metro, for them to ensure that the implementation of this project becomes a success. The last one is to call upon the young people who are our targets, those in Umlazi, Lamontville, in Thokoza, in Soweto, to come forward and benefit from this program, because we believe it is going to change our lives. And we are ready, as the Department of Social Development and USAID, to invest in their future and protect them from today. We hope that this is going to be a successful program, and we look forward to the implementation over the next 5 years. Thank you very much.
The mic, sprayer mic.
Era sanitizer. We have to be safe. We need to play our part, South Africa. COVID-19 is not a joke, and it is important that we abide by the new regulations and we respect the restrictions that are in place. And we can all play our part as South Africans by staying at home, social distancing, and making sure if we are going to be out and about that we have a mask on. As I said, this is going to be a virtual launch, so we'll be doing a lot of crossovers, and we'll be coming back in studio. It's a jam-packed program lined up to actually give you a feel of what this program wants to do in impacting the youths of South Africa. So without further ado, I always say, do it for the babies, smash Africa for the babies. Without the future and implementing plans that are going to empower the youth, we are failing ourselves. So to allow us to get what is going on in the minds of youths and why we need to put in as much energy and effort in empowering young people between the ages of 10 and 18 years old. I've got messages from the youth. And first up is the Yolo youth from Rina Liluna NPO, Miss M. Mkuwa. That's Miss M. Mnukwa. I beg your pardon.
Hi, my name is Michelle Mnukwa. I'm from Minaliluna. Well, I'm from the Yolo program, and it has helped me a lot since I've joined in.
Yeah? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So this is your opportunity, Mugele, to tell us and share your message.
Oh, okay. So I'm from the Yolo program, and Yolo has helped me a lot since I've joined Yolo. We were having a few sessions whereby we had to express ourselves and reflect on ourselves, which whereby I had to go through a lot of bullying, whereby they bullied me about my skin color. But since I've joined Yolo, I've learned how to overcome the bad comments. I've learned to have self-esteem. Yes. Also, I also have self-confidence. I'm really proud of my skin. I don't want to change it. And also, it helped me to overcome peer pressure. I've learned a lot. I've learned about life. maybe challenges that will come my way, and I know how to deal with them. So it has helped me a lot, and it is really fun because it's not only we're not only serious. We also have fun activities, which can boost our self-esteem also. Yes.
Now let's talk about how you make sure that those who are not part of the Yolo program, how do you also encourage them to believe in themselves, to also make sure that they make the right choices, because, risky sexual behavior is very prevalent amongst teenagers.
I may advise them to speak to an elderly person, the one you trust. You must speak to an elderly person or go speak with a social worker. Because in my community, there is Rinaliluna, there are social workers willing to help you. So I encourage them to come at Rinaliluna so they can get help if they want help, if they need help. Yeah.
And then for those who don't have confidence, what do you have to say to them? Those who are scared to ask for help.
Okay, if they are scared, they must sit down and think properly. Like, they must think properly. If I sit down and not say anything, how will this affect me? And if I talk to someone, how would this help me? And if they thought about it, they can go to the social worker. It will help them a lot if they talk to someone, because it relieves you inside. See, and it can help build your self-confidence. You can be able to socialize with people.
Thank you so much. I like that. And in parting, I would like to urge all the parents, all the guardians, that if we do not instill the self-confidence in the younger generation or our teenagers, it will be problematic in terms of them coming out, asking and seeking answers that they have questions to. And most importantly, without building the self-confidence, it will make it harder for them to actually raise their hand up and allow themselves to actually go at it and put in a lot of effort in believing and making their dreams come true. All right. Thank you so much for that, girl. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm going to move on to Mr. T. Vimbi, and he is from ChommY Youth from Africa Tikan NPO.
Hello everybody, my name is Dibato Vimbi. I am from Africa Tycoon, and thank you for inviting me. Also, you Deputy Minister Henrietta Ibileng, thank you very much, and all the hope out there.
So, Mr. Vimbi, now, how old are you? Let's start there.
I've got a meeting at 12. The meeting what?
Yes.
Dibello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
How old are you?
I am 11 years old. Thank you for asking.
I want to know from you, when it comes to encouraging young boys and girls and motivating your peers, how do you go about doing it?
I think they must have self-esteem. They must believe in themselves. They can do anything. That's what I say.
And tell me your favorite indigenous games. Do you have any?
Yes, I have indigenous games.
What's your what are some of your favorite indigenous games?
My favorite indigenous games is chess.
Oma kawena. Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
A chess player?
Yes, I am a chess player.
So I want to know, do you play chess in a league, and who introduced you to a game of chess?
Mr. Karabo, thank you very much for introducing me to chess.
Have you beaten Mr. Karabo before?
No.
Then he's not doing a good job. You must tell Mr. Karabo he must teach you how to beat him, okay?
Yes.
All right, last but not least, I want you to talk to young people of South Africa between the ages of 10 to 14 and tell them what you think the future of South Africa looks like, and please inspire them while you are at it.
Come again?
What do you think the future of South Africa looks like in your eyes? Where do you see yourself?
I see myself in a beautiful country that anything is possible. That's why they must believe in themselves. Anything is possible.
Oh man, that's a powerful message. Anything is possible, and if the kids say it, we just have to believe it and support the kids most importantly. Tebello, thank you so much for chatting. Is there anything else you'd like to add before I let you go?
Program. ChommY program is it's a safe space program that allows you to create new ideas. So please support ChommY program.
Indeed, we will do that, Tebello. Thank you so much. Now we're going to move on to our USAID Mission Director, Mr. John Grock. He will tell us exactly why it is so important for the United States Agency for International Development and Department of Social Development to focus their energy and efforts for the next 5 years in empowering youths between the ages of 10 and 18 years old. Let's cross over to Mr. John Grock.
Thank you. AIDS is a major problem to be tackled by the entire world. To deal with it requires resources far beyond the capacity of one continent. No single country has the capacity to deal with it alone. Those words were spoken by your former president, Nelson Mandela, and they reflect the urgency of not only dealing with the HIV/AIDS epidemic, but also other health problems that afflict South Africa and other countries beyond, including tuberculosis and now COVID-19. Unless we work together, the governments of the United States and South Africa, as well as our partners in the private sector, we are not going to be able to collectively prevail over these illnesses. Minister Lindiwe Zulu, Deputy Minister Henrietta Bokopane Zulu, other distinguished guests, I'm privileged to be here on behalf of the U.S. Agency for International Development to initiate this very important new youth-focused initiative by our two governments. I think what we just heard from the two young people that were just speaking best encapsulates what this is about. It is about helping young people and helping young people to be able to... Is there something wrong?
Yeah, sorry. Just one moment.
Have they been hearing?
I've been able to see you.
Oh.
Yes, we can hear you, John. Carry on. You can proceed.
Can you see me now?
We can hear you. What matters is we can hear you for now. We'll get to the visuals later.
Okay. Well, then I'm sorry for that. I will only say that this initiative is about helping young people, and you heard it from the previous two speakers, and we're best able to do this working together. USAID has a long history, since I believe 2013, of working with the Ministry of Social Development, and we very much look forward to continuing that long relationship in the future with this initiative. It is so important now that both ChommY and Yolo be extended to Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal so that more young people can learn proper behaviors and mitigating tactics when it comes to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. So congratulations to our colleagues in the government of South Africa, both at the national level and at the provincial level. Congratulations to all those young people who have participated in Yolo and ChommY to date, and those that will participate in the future. USAID is honored and pleased to be your partner in meeting the challenges of HIV/AIDS, in looking into the future, and not only treating the illness, but preventing its spread. And as the MC mentioned earlier, it is really about getting through to the young people that will ensure that we're successful. So thank you again, and I look forward to being with you in this event for the next several hours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate it. And it is so important that we speak to the empowerment of youth. And we also speak of skills development around the youth. And we've got none other than a person who's actually working directly with the youth, and meaning I'm going to have to cross over the program and hand it over to Tebello Mkondo, who's going to be our lead program director for Gauteng province. And pretty much what you will hear, there are messages from Tembisa Integrated Home-Based Care, as well as a poem recitation that you can also look forward to. We have a message of support from the Ekurhuleni Metro, as well as City of Johannesburg Metro, and we'll get an amazing speech, and I'm putting Dr. Mokgethi under pressure on this one, an amazing speech from Gauteng Province DSD MEC, Dr. N. Mokgethi, to speak more about how they are making sure that they're empowering young people in making informed decisions and choices when it comes to reducing HIV infections and making sure that they do not abuse substances, and most importantly, prevention of teenage pregnancies. Now, we're going to cross over to Tebello Mkondo. Tebello Mkondo, unalibo ma 40 minutes, ne? So you need to push your program. So let's cross over to her. Tebello, are you there?
Okay. Good day. Yes, can you hear me?
Can you hear me? Loud and clear, Tebello.
Okay. Good morning. It's still the morning. And I would first like to greet our Honorable Minister, Ms. Lindiwe Zulu, the Honorable Deputy Minister, Ms. Mokopane Zulu, Honorable Premier for KZN, Mr. Sigalala, the Honorable MEC for Gauteng Social Development, Dr. Mokgethi, the Honorable MEC for DSD in KwaZulu-Natal, Ms. N. Kosa, the MMCs that are with us here from Ekurhuleni, the MMC for Health and Social Development, Councillor Nkosi, and MMC for Social Development in KZN, and also to acknowledge the heads of the two metros, heads of departments for the two metros, which is City of Ekurhuleni and City of Johannesburg, where the programs are being implemented, Dr. Mutlatla and Mr. Bekisi Bekwa, the USAID Mission Director, Mr. Grok, and honorable guests. As Gauteng, we really feel honored to be part of this groundbreaking launch, and we feel that we are honored to be chosen to participate, and we thank for the extension of the program, and we feel that it will indeed go a long way to address the vulnerabilities which predisposes our individuals, more especially our young people, to HIV and AIDS. Like I mentioned, the program is being implemented in the two metros, which is Johannesburg and Ekurhuleni, and in the main, it's targeting our young people, which are the hardest hit by the pandemic of HIV and AIDS and all other social ills. So without wasting time, we've got 5 speakers, as you have mentioned. I'm going to request that the speakers be brief and to the point. The first speaker, who's the manager from Tembisa Home-Based Care Center, is Miss Grace Mtetwa. Miss Grace Mtetwa is one of the finest directors, and is leading the organization since 2003. and he has done a lot of work in the Ekurhuleni region. So without further ado, I'm going to welcome Ms. Mthethwa to tell us about what they are doing in the Tembisa area. Ms. Mthethwa?
I mentioned you to be brief. It is Mrs. Mthethwa. We started work in Tembisa in 1998 when it was still the sketch, fighting the sketch of HIV and AIDS in 1998. We went from place to place, lobbying, advocating for rollout of treatment to our people living with HIV and AIDS and children who were born without nevirapine. We really, in Tembisa, did a wonderful work regarding education on HIV and AIDS until we realized the gap and said the children are left alone, children are left without documentation, children are left without grants, children are left without food. That's when organizations, about 18 organizations in Tembisa started to do work on HIV and AIDS. Then we graduated to Orphan Care Program, an OVC program where we started assisting next of kin grannies to access grants and placement to schools where children were not going to school because of certain documentations that were not found as parents went on, passed on. That was the good work that we did in Tembisa. And as we identified the OVC program, we then realized that children have knowledge. We had to get children at our centers to educate them on HIV and AIDS, which was very difficult to talk to a child who's 9 years to 14 years around matters relating to HIV and AIDS. But we managed by networking with organizations such as Treatment Action Campaign, AIDS Consortium, and we were then empowered. We were absorbed as NGOs on a OVC program by social development in terms of financial assistance, which we appreciate. Up until now, we are still being taken care of in terms of finances by social development. Thank you guys for the wonderful work you're doing. We are now, I can take the whole day to explain our work on grassroots level. Where we are now, we are at an era where the world has turned against women and children. That is why mostly we support women, youth, and children. We then started a youth program with the staff that you have. We have enough staff to actually conquer children in Tembisa. We started a Yolo program where we are catering for children, boys and girls from age 9 to 24. We have realized that this program is so possible, so enjoyable by children, so loved by children, because we're not just talking about pregnancy, which children become bored by hearing the word pregnancy all the time, hearing HIV all the time. Then we rolled in people with expertise that can help children to love and own the program. They own the program. They started a yoga class. I am sure earlier on we sent some few videos where you can see children who are religiously attending sessions on Thursdays and participate in yoga lessons. This year we had 60 sessions that were conducted. And amongst other things, we made the program enjoyable by outcomes, incomes, visits to movies, so that the children can love to come to the center, because it's not easy to have children coming to the center religiously. We certificate them, issuing certification of attendance certification, and you can call it anyhow, but they are, after their closed sessions, receive certificates which are laminated and beautiful. And as a way of an incentive, we allocate them yoga mats. Am I done? Am I done? Is my time up?
Yes.
Is my time up?
Your time is up.
Yes, wrap up.
Yeah, the program is should go on. Please, it should not stop. I'm about to retire, but I will make sure that this program goes on. Success stories, we have never experienced teenage pregnancy in 3 years' time. We never had dropouts from the classes. We have not seen teenage pregnancies. To all the children that attended Yolo classes, that's how we keep, that's our yardstick, because this is what is the challenge. In terms of violence, our children are secure. With the carers on their toes on daily basis, our children are still safe for now. God bless you.
Tetwa, for sharing with us the work that you do in the Tembisa area, and impacting on the lives of our young people. I'm going to call upon Miss Mbali, who's a student at El Domain Secondary School, is in El Dorado Park. Mbali is going to share with us a poem. She belongs to an organization which is within the city of Johannesburg called Ikusa Youth Development Center. We are good, and how are you? You can proceed, my dear.
Okay, so my name is Mbali Nkosi, and I'm just gonna share a poem with you guys. Firstly, thank you for the opportunity that I'm given to say this poem in front of you guys, even though we don't see like face to face, but it's okay. So I'm gonna start. Can I start? Okay, goes like this. I'm not just any child, I am a dream's child. Life is all about the set of choices you make. It all comes down to the decisions you take. It's either you're in the light or you lose it. But nevertheless, at the end of the day, you only live once. Decisions matter. Life is so fragile. You cannot buy the heaven's plan. That is why we need to decide before we act. Today is ours. Let's live it. Let us unite each other. Let us become the voice of the voiceless. If the world is wrong, let us right it. But remember, you only live once. Our work is here. Our work is here. Let us do it. I know the battle is hard, but let us fight it. Thank you. Did you get that?
Thanks, Mbali, for the... Yes, thank you very much, Mbali, for the inspiring yet educational poem. Yes. Thank you very much, Mbali, for the inspirational and educational poem. Without further ado, I'm going to call upon the MMC for Health and Social Development in Ekurhuleni. MMC.
Afternoon, everyone. Oh, let me do this. everyone. Honorable Minister of Social Development, MP Lindiwe Zulu, Honorable Deputy Minister of Social Development, Mama Ipeleng Henrietta Bukhapani Zulu, Premier of KZN, Baba Sihle Zigalala, the MEC of Social Development in Gauteng, Dr. Nomathemba Mukhethi, the MEC of Social Development in KZN, Nonhlanhla Khoza, the Executive Mayor of Joburg, Councillor Geoff Makhubo, the Executive Mayor of the City of eThekwini, Councillor Mxolisi Kaunda, members of Mayoral Committee, DGs, City Managers, the US Mission Director, leaders of business, labor and civil society, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me a great pleasure to stand before you this morning as the country battles the coronavirus and inching towards the peak of the infections. The fight against COVID-19 is the one that has been characterized by great difficulties, but even greater accomplishment in the pursuit for a life of dignity for the people of South Africa and Ekurhuleni in particular. The government-to-government program in partnership with the US is profound precisely because it represents the most salient aspiration of our people, at the heart of which is the resolution of the scourge of sexual violence that has torn South Africa and other countries. On the eve of the launch of this significant campaign, Thoko Kubheka, a young woman, was caught up in a toxic relationship where his boyfriend bent the entire family home. He murdered her and tried to make it look like it's a suicide. The city of Ekurhuleni joined millions of South Africans in extending condolences to her family and friends. We believe that a new way must be found to deal with all issues that relate to the abuse of women and to assist all women and children who have endured trauma to which no one should be condemned. Minister, Deputy Minister, MECs and mayors of all the cities, gender-based violence is a challenge to which our country must urgently intervene to. As we see today, COVID-19 has a devastating impact on the social fabric of our communities, and particularly our vulnerable groups. COVID-19 has a severe impact on children. The lockdown meant that children were not allowed to be outside and playing. Children in their nature of development are growing through playing. What it means is that the development milestones were slowed. The impact of being with that a different set of adults at all times creates a conducive environment for children to irritate the adults and other members of the family, wherein they may be exposed to continued rebuke, punishment, and to a greater extent, abuse. The delay in educational development have very significant impact. It is not an accident of history that this launch is taking place on this day. This month of July is significant on the calendar of our country. It is a month during which we celebrate the founding father of our democracy and a global icon, Tata Nelson Mandela. Tata Mandela taught the world a lot about solidarity and impressed upon us all the necessity of building partnership rooted in principle and the quest to human development. But the launch also takes place as we sit on the threshold of August month, a month during which we commemorate and honor women who sacrifice immensely for this democracy that we enjoy. It is also a month during which we reflect deeply on the strides that we have taken in responding to scourge of sexual abuse and violence and other forms of gender-based violence which continue to undermine our sustainable development goals, to which we have consistently demonstrated commitment. The timing, therefore, could not have been more apparent. The implementation of primary prevention of sexual violence and HIV activities amongst 10 to 17-year-olds is fundamental to the realization of our aspirations as people. AIDS is leading cause of death among young people at the age of 19 to 24 in Africa, and second leading cause globally. Young people at the age of 24 years and adolescents aged to 10 to 19 years, especially young women and young key populations, continue to be disproportionately affected by HIV and AIDS. In 2019, 2.5 million people aged between 10 and 19 years were living with HIV and AIDS. But perhaps more devastatingly, 260,000 became newly infected with the virus. The number of adolescents living with HIV has risen by approximately 30% between 2005 and 2019. This picture demonstrates to us the correctness of International AIDS Society President Linda Gale Becker, who asserts that the medical advances that have transformed HIV treatment have yet to alter the stark reality of young people, particularly in low middle income countries, such as those in sub-Saharan Africa, and young people within key populations. While AIDS-related deaths have halved in children since 2010, they have only fallen by 5% in adolescents. AIDS, in the other words, is far from over, especially for young people. Research has demonstrated that young women are twice as likely to acquire HIV as young men, and that the young bulge in Africa threatens to increase new HIV infections further. Various factors lead to young people's vulnerability to HIV, but two most salient are low HIV and sexual health knowledge, as well as unprotected sex, which has been deemed the most common route of HIV infections amongst young people. It is this reality that makes this program that we are launching here today especially important. The reduction of incidence of HIV and AIDS through social behavior change programs will be impactful only when we also employ a multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral approach to understanding and intervening on social questions of sexual violence and gender-based violence in its totality. A partnership of South African government with that of the American government through USAID and thus various civil society organizations and private companies which it works is the kind of multi-sectoral approach that is demanded to annihilate the scourge. I'm proud and deeply honored to see this partnership that I know will yield meaningful results for our country, aiding us in rescuing the futures of millions of young people who would otherwise be counted as statistics of a disease that has already claimed so many lives in South Africa. It was O.R. Tambo, a stalwart of our liberation struggle, which once contended that a nation that does not invest in its youth or take care of its youth does not have a future, nor does it deserve one. Through this program, we are investing in the lives of our youth. We are investing in the future of our country. In the words of Pablo Neruda, I open quotes, we are guilty of many errors and many faults, but our worst crime is abandoning the children, neglecting the foundation of life. Many of the things we need can wait. The child cannot wait. Right now is the time his bones are being made and his senses are being developed. To him we cannot answer tomorrow.
MMC?
Today, I close quote.
MMC, can you please wrap up?
I'm done.
Thank you.
I thank you.
Thank you very much, MMC, for affirming the support of the Ekurhuleni region towards the program. I would like to call upon the HOD for Health and Social Development, City of Johannesburg, Mr. Bheki Sibeko, to also say a few words. Over to you, Mr. Sibeko.
Thank you, Chairperson. Am I audible?
Yes.
Can everybody hear? Thank you very much. Just to say, I'd like firstly to pass over my apologies from the Mayor of the city, Tate Makubo, our MMC for Health and Social Development, Memprina. We are having a mayoral or a council meeting as we speak. That's why they asked me to represent the department. You would see that in the attendance, we also have got the Chief of Staff in the MMC office attending. So I'm speaking on behalf of the City of Joburg, representing the political officers. I'd like to acknowledge the ministers, the deputy ministers, MECs, and I would just like to say in the interest of time, all protocol observed. We all know that the challenges facing the youth, they range from the issues of very low education levels, making employment very difficult, the high unemployment rates amongst young people, some studies within our country putting it around 60% or more, the burden of disease, particularly that of HIV, which attacks mainly the young people. When we talk of poverty, the people who will experience it the most, it will be young people, poverty together with the issue of food insecurity. As a result, I'm sure when you go to our correctional services, you won't be surprised to find that the majority of young people end up basically doing the correctional, the being in prison. I would like to say, in support of this program, building self-esteem, self-confidence amongst young people will make sure that firstly they are equipped with taking decisions that influence their path in the correct way, not to be influenced in a wrong way. So it's important that we address those issues of self-esteem building, and we need to also address issues of economic empowerment, and also change the issues of values so that the way young people relate to the other genders, it is with respect and not disrespecting them. With those words, I'd like to say that the city of Joburg is in full support of the program of equipping the young people. We have, as a city, put the young people at the center of our approach to dealing with the challenges that we are facing today. We believe that to cut the intergenerational transmission of unemployment, of poverty, it is through intervening at the young people's level. Thank you very much. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Sibeko. Without further ado, I would like to introduce our MEC for Gauteng Department of Social Development, MEC Dr. Nomathemba Mokgethi. Over to you, MEC.
Hello.
We can hear you, MEC.
Okay, thank you very much, Program Director. Maybe just to say that speaking after Karabo is very difficult because I think Karabo intimidated me when he was participating in the program earlier, but I'll try my best, making sure that I address the issues that I need to address. Honorable Minister of Social Development, Melindwe Zulu, our premiers in both Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal, Deputy Minister, Mayor Henrietta Bogopane Zulu, the MEC of KwaZulu-Natal Department of Social Development, Umamnonhlanhla Khoza, the MMCs present today from both metros, which is Ekurhuleni and Johannesburg, not forgetting our metro in eThekwini, officials of government provincially and nationally, our partners, USAID, led by the mission director, our civil society, leaders of business community and organizations, friends and comrades, fellow citizens and families that are live streaming today, members of the media, and last but not least, Abo ChommY Nabo Yolo, or La, where you are. As we gather to launch yet another exciting and holistic initiative of government, our country and every single South African are in the midst of a storm caused by COVID-19 pandemic. I want to begin by echoing the words of our President, Ndate Cyril Ramaphosa, when he stood strong and said, I quote, COVID-19 has demanded of you a great fortitude and endurance. It has cost you much suffering and require much sacrifice. We shall overcome. I end quote. The one characteristic which a South African possesses is the ability to endure. Honorable Minister, first and foremost, let me state that the Gauteng provincial government and I, Dr. Nomathemba Mokheti, as a political leader of the Department of Social Development, wish to declare our unwavering support and commitment to the program and pledge to making the G2G program a success in Gauteng. As we embark on the launching the G2G program today, we are honored that Gauteng was the place of choice for the launch and excited to embark on this exciting program. We acknowledge that the initial early intervention placed emphasis on the much required care and support interventions, and these were largely focused on provision of material support as well as psychosocial support. However, the stubborn increase in HIV incidents amidst various efforts made undoubtedly challenged the sole provision of care and support interventions, hence the need by a national government to intervene and conceptualize the concept of compendium, social and behavioral change interventions. These are based on premise that the change in behavior is the key curbing new infections as well as the spread in new infections. Embedded in principles of behavioral theory, Gauteng population demographics is characterized by the youth, and most certainly our intervention should be directed at the most vulnerable and most active age group in society, the youth. Hence, in 2019, when the USAID opted to expand the reach to young people at risk of contracting the new infections through Yolo by scaling up programs in Gauteng and KwaZulu-Natal for the period of 5 years, beginning from October 2019 to September 2023. We welcome the support, both financially and non-financial, as we embrace both the Yolo program, which would target our children between the ages of 15 and 17 years, as well as ChommY program, targeting the little ones from the age of 10 to 14 years. As this program is about teenagers, allow me to greet and say, Yolo, you only live once. Yes, indeed, you only live once, and therefore you must know yourself, love yourself, and protect yourself. Program Director, let me borrow from the world-renowned Canadian poet, novelist, and literary critic by the name of Margaret Atwood when she spoke of the youth as follows, open quote, when you are young, you think everything you do is disposable. You move from now to now, crumbling time up in your hands, tossing it away. You are on your own speeding car. You think you can get rid of things and people too, leave them behind. You don't yet know about the habit they have of becoming back, close quote. Teenage and pre-teenage pregnancy is a fear of many parents, but it's rife and affects young girls between the ages of 10 to 14 years. It robs the nation of a young woman who can be part and parcel of the productivity of our economy, but it also deepens the gender disparities that are there in our society. And this is why we as a society, we must be intolerant of teenage pregnancy, particularly childhood pregnancy. Childhood pregnancy is a statutory rape, and we must treat it as such. It is against this background that I want to commit the Gauteng provincial government in supporting this great initiative, which will help us to address the challenge that our youth are facing today. Honorable Minister, we support and commit to delivering the key objectives of the GP2 program by strengthening provincial and regional capacities to implement, monitor, and track implementation of HIV prevention interventions and build capacity of Yolo facilitators to routinely deliver high-quality social behavioral change, HIV prevention interventions to the children of Gauteng. In conclusion, Honorable Minister, my gratitude once more to the USAID Partnership and the National Department of Social Development. We have been entrusted with a tremendous responsibility, and through the dedication and commitment of the Gauteng Provincial Government and the Department of Social Development, we will implement a successful G2G program. Eita abo Yolo nabo ChommY eita. Thank you, ngiyabonga, ngiyaleboga.
Thank you very much, MEC, for your support and also committing the Gauteng province to strengthen the implementation of the G2G program. My role is ending here. I would like to thank everyone for listening and participating. Over to you, Program Director. Thank you.
To spare, we had to push people and make sure that we do not get the messages lost while we are hearing different speeches. And I'd also like to take this opportunity for those who just joined us. We are here launching the government-to-government project in partnership with the United States Agency for International Development. The Department of Social Development is in the forefront of empowering young people with the programs Yolo and ChommY, as you heard. In terms of some of the stuff that you missed earlier on, we had the mission director from United States Agency for International Development share a word. Amazing messages from the youth who are part of the Yolo and ChommY programs, and of course the big purpose of this event. Now we're gonna cross over to KwaZulu-Natal, and I am going to cross over to our HOD Department of Social Development, Mrs. Nelly Vilakazi, to actually handle the program. And in this program we will get a testimony message, we get entertainment, as well as a message of support from the eThekwini Metro, as well as a speech from the MEC, Dr. N. Koza. So without further ado, let's cross over to Nelly Vilakazi all the way in KZN. Nelly, I'm giving you 30 minutes and your time starts the moment you say welcome. Nelly, are you there?
I'm there. I'm there. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Your 30 minutes starts now. You can take over the program.
Okay. Okay. The video is on now. Can you see us?
We can hear you. That's what matters right now. So you can go in.
Okay, thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you for the opportunity. Welcome to KwaZulu-Natal, where beautiful things happen, where you enjoy a beautiful season throughout the year. Program Director, I want to acknowledge you, the Minister for Social Development, the Deputy Minister for Social Development, Zulu, the USAID Mission Director, Mr. J. Crow, Premier of Gauteng, Mr. David Mabuza, the Premier for KwaZulu-Natal, Mr. Zigalala, the MEC for the Department of Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal, Notaka Koza, and the MEC for Social Development in Gauteng, Dr. Edmond Freddy, our new MEC, the Speaker for eThekwini Metro, Councillor Weziwe Tusi, the Mayor for eThekwini, Ekurhuleni Metro, as well as the city of Johannesburg, and the MMC for the city of Johannesburg, the representatives from the civil society organization, and the DG, the acting DDG, the senior government officials, all the senior officials present here today. Mr. Motala representing the Department of Education, members of the media, representatives from the creative industry. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We have prepared ourselves as a province for this beautiful day, where we are promoting the programs that are looking at behavior change, Yolo, which is you only live once, as well as ChommY. So we have our activities that we have prepared. The first testimony that we are going to get is the testimony by Mr. MC, who has been supported by the Department of Social Development, who will demonstrate that it is possible for life to move on, even if you've gone through some challenges. Mr. Cindy, can you come over, sir?
How we are learning, we'll get there. Miguel, Oscar sanitizer mine.
Hello, how are you? How's everybody? My name is Nandisin Sili. Basically, I was playing on the streets for several years, basically surviving under the generosity of the public, and them helping me out. And then the COVID-19 pandemic came, and we were rounded up by the Department of Social Development and community municipality, and right after taken to Moses Mobile, and there they make sure that we receive essential services like that methadone program, which helped a lot for those who were on drugs and unable to function through that time, and access to social workers from the Department of Social Development and nurses. They helped us get in touch with our families. They also helped us with cosmetic toiletries, clothing, and then access to healthcare and rehab, which is most something which I was involved in. I'm in a rehab at the moment, the Park Center rehab, halfway through my program. And then my future plans is to just finish this program and try to work on my connection with my family, the son also. So I really want to be part of his life. And I work on getting a job and in partnership with the Department of Social Development. I would like to try to get a job and possibly join some further my education, possibly, and join some programs which income generating programs from the Department of Social Development, and see how that can help me.
That person must take the mic, the mask off, then you start.
Okay. Again, my name is Nandisin Sili. This is my testimony. Okay, I was living on the streets for several years here in Durban. Obviously, while also the pandemic came, COVID-19 pandemic, and we were rounded up by the Department of Social Development and the community municipality, and rounded up. Most of us were still on the street and taken to different sites like Moses Mabida, and there we received certain essential services by the Department of Social Development, like the methadone program, access to social workers and nurses, and yeah, we also they helped us get in touch with our families and gain access to cosmetics, clothing, toiletries, things. Oh yes, and health and rehab. So for which is something I'm also attending at the moment. I'm halfway through my program and I'm still working on finishing it. And yeah, for the future, I just want to create a better connection with my family. I have a son, so I want to help raise my son. I'm a better father to him. And yeah, hopefully we'll help from the Department of Social Development to get a proper job or at least work on my education, further my education a bit more, and join some of the income generating programs by the Department of Social Development. And yes, man, hopefully you can have I can gain a better future through that. And also help with programs helping people who are coming from a similar situation like the one I was in, and hopefully be a role model to others and let them know that they can change their lives through the help of our government and the Department of Social Development. And yeah, man, basically I just say thank you to Ms. Marcosa, the Department of Social Development MEC, and the Department of Social Development, everybody who works with them for their help and yeah, man, for anything else they can do to help the rest of us who are still going through these programs and yeah, present and the future. Yes, thank you.
This is the second speaker now. Mr. MC, I was hesitant to give you a message in terms of how the Department of Social.
Can we give Mr. Ziggy another round of applause? Thank you very much, my brother. This is an opportunity for you to change your life and also to be exemplary to other young people. Thank you very much for your testimony. We are all motivated. What I like most from your testimony is that you want to shape your future, going back to school and so on. Thank you. The next item, program director, is the message that we are going to get, or message of support that we are going to get from eThekwini Metro. The message will be presented to us by the speaker of eThekwini Metro, Weziwe Tusi. Can we give her a round of applause? Thank you.
Thank you very much, program. Thank you very much, Program Director, Ms. Nelly Vilakazi, the Minister of Social Development, Ms. Lindiwe Zulu, our Honorable Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Sihle Zikalala, the Deputy Minister of Social Development, Ms. Ipeleng Mokgopane Zulu, MEC for Social Development, Gauteng, Dr. Mugeti, and MEC for Social Development, Ms. Nonhlanhla Khoza from KZN, my colleagues from Ekurhuleni and the city of Johannesburg Metros, good afternoon. Oh, I forgot to greet the young people, Yolo and the ChommY participants. As eThekwini municipality, would like to express our profound gratitude to the USA and South African governments for such an important initiative. We have no doubt that this program will go a long way in arming our young people with information that will protect them from incidents of sexual violence as well as HIV and AIDS infections.
For the longest time, our young people have been on the receiving end of a myriad of social ills that are plaguing our communities, including diseases, drug abuse, and violence. The advent of coronavirus COVID-19 has further exposed our young people to these challenges. During the period of the lockdown, we have seen a dramatic increase in incidents of violence directed to young women and children. Therefore, the finding by USAID could not have come at a better time. It also demonstrates the commitment of both governments in improving the status of the young people and help them reach their goals. eThekwini municipality is one of the areas in the country that are hardest hit by the HIV and AIDS pandemic. And we're also happy that this initiative will strengthen our efforts to build an HIV and AIDS-free generation. The leadership of eThekwini municipality has thrown its weight behind this program, and we want to assure you that we will be straining every nerve to make it a huge success. We are also honored that you have chosen us as one of the cities that the program will be launched in. We trust that this program will be complemented by an intensive education campaign to empower our young people and adolescent girls and boys about their rights. I'd like to conclude by reminding all of us that we have reached the peak of the COVID-19 infections, and let us continue to be vigilant and abide by all safety measures to minimize the spread of this virus. We can only succeed in flattening the curve of this vicious pandemic if we work together. Thank you, Siyabonga, Enkosi.
Thank you very much, Councillor Chusi of eThekwini Metro for the words of encouragement and also the beautiful encouragement to young people as far as Yolo is concerned. We had prepared a video by the young people with regard to Yolo, but the video can't play. I just want to request the young people who have prepared role play in our video just to come here so that they can see. Next time, then we can then show the beautiful video that you have done. Can you quickly come forward within a minute, young people? Can you give them a round of applause? We will not role play now, just come in more. Just seems you look beautiful. Just come to me. Thank you very much, Program Director and leadership. These are the young people from one of our child and youth care centers that have prepared a beautiful role play, which is in line with Yolo, that says you only live once. We can't play the video now, but we wanted to show you that these are the young people who can change the world by passing the message of you only live once and ChommY. And let's give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much. Program Director and colleagues, I will now hand over to the Honorable MEC for the Department of Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal, who is going to make her presentation, her speech. Honorable MEC Nonhlanhla Khoza, over to you, MEC. Thank you.
Greetings, and thank you to the program director. In fact, program directors, our HOD, Mama Une. Greetings to the Honorable Minister, Mama Une, the Deputy Minister, Mama Henrietta Vanesulu, Honorable Premiers, the Premier of KwaZulu-Natal, Honorable Sishes Galala, and the Premier of Gauteng. Greetings to the MEC for Social Development, Gauteng, Honorable Moketi, the Speaker of the KwaZulu-Natal Municipality, Honorable Wesi Metusi, Uruleni Metro representatives, US8 representatives, Osingaye, the young people, members of the media, and distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very much pleased to be with you today as we participate in this important launch to make an intervention to save our children from HIV and AIDS pandemic. Not only is this event historic in the sense of launching of this government to government, which is a project, but to strengthen the Department of Social Development's capacity to scale up the implementation of primary prevention of sexual violence among children and youth, to reduce the incidence of HIV and AIDS through social behavioral change, which are programs done by social development. Equally, it is a historic event because the USAID has partnered with our department to scale up the Yolo program and our programs in both KwaZulu-Natal and Gauteng provinces for a period of 5 years. Even this time around, we are very much pleased and sure that USAID support on this program will go a long way. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm hoping to get all of us are aware of the position that our government has taken for some time with regards to the HIV and AIDS pandemic. We believe that it is indeed the responsibility of government to come up with plans to save the South African population, with a special focus on young girls and women from contracting HIV. Therefore, we have always adopted critical attitude towards ourselves as government as to whether we are discharging that responsibility properly. Before launching this program today, Yolo, targeting children between the ages of 10 to 14 and to deal with HIV and AIDS, our social behavioral change programs is focused on empowering young people with knowledge and skills to prevent and reduce risky sexual behaviors and take them to the 95 or 295 clinical testing. Research indicates that sexual activity in the population of ages from 15 years and older is high in this country. Young women and adolescents are particularly affected and account for significantly higher new infections as compared to other segments of the population. In this province alone, 70 states are with a very high burden of HIV that includes eThekwini Metro, Mpumalanga, Kings Trials, and Utugela and Helpwa. As the department, we have identified the need to address social and structural drivers in line with Goal 4 of the National Strategic Plan for HIV, TB, and STI, year 2017 and 2022, which is to address poverty, gender-based violence, unemployment, gender inequality, substance abuse to reduce HIV infection. Honorable Premier, the program launched today will encompass 12 sessions which are tailored to address the behavioral traits that instill positive values among people. The Yolo and ChommY ended 10 to 14 years old seeks to generate knowledge, develop skills, and empower young people, enabling them to make informed choices to reduce infections, the prevention of teenage pregnancy and unplanned pregnancies. Ladies and gentlemen, in the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we still encounter challenges of high infections among teenagers because of sugar ladies who prey on young girls with false promises. We have been dealing with the cross-generational sex identified to be a major contributor in the spread of HIV/AIDS. With the program launched today, we will be able to challenge the acceptance of cross-generational relationships in society. It shouldn't be a norm that in our communities, older men continue to seek sex with young girls. We have a challenge of sex for marks, sex for work, and sex for promotion. It is a challenge. We continue to encourage our children to take precautions by living a healthy and safe lifestyle, whilst those are already on treatment should continue taking their medication as prescribed by doctors. Ladies and gentlemen, we were once counted among countries that had major difficulties with regard to HIV and AIDS, but over the past few years, we have made significant strides in halting and reversing the spread of the pandemic. Honorable Premiers, as we talk about the life expectancy from 61.5 years for males and 67.7 years for females, we also have high numbers of people on antiretroviral therapy. We need to ensure that we stem the tide of new infections. We therefore believe that our move to target prevention on young people is the correct, and it is towards the correct direction. Once again, I should like to thank the Minister and the Deputy Minister and the team, including USAID, for considering KwaZulu-Natal to be part of this program. Thank you to everyone who has joined us in this one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nelly. Oh my goodness. You also had 5 minutes to spare. I love it. You know what we're going to do with that 5 minutes? We're going to dance. We're going to motivate the babies because Ntika and Sunday are on standby. Now, the song that you're about to hear and watch and experience is a song of encouragement, a song of upliftment. And these two gents don't necessarily come from a comfortable upbringing where they say, oh man, I've had life easy. In fact, they had life tough. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, a performance of Bambelela for the very first time during our time of COVID-19 under lockdown. Please welcome Ntika and Sunday.
Yo, it's 2020, and I'm saddened by the states I see. Way too many people still dying from HIV. We got ARVs, but there's still a lot of blood in these streets. Still a lot of kids with no parents. So much going on, so before you go and have fun, put a condom on. And also, have fun, right side of the law. Me, I've known a few thugs, and the law got them all. Utatomkulu got killed, Ulumkile had skills, till they got us shot, and the government got nabbed. It's kinda sad how I cannot even drink much, cause I'm still traumatized by my alcoholic dad, who still gets affected. I know I do, tested. Half the youth doing drugs like they got a death wish. Death wish. Take a moment to reflect on how you live the life you're blessed with. If your life is a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay.
leli nameva kodwa kuzodlula Mabelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini Mabelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini Bambelela 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 bambelela
Your fingers got powers like triggers. Think about that next time you're on Twitter, next time you deliver another killer blow to somebody's confidence and get rid of all their inner strength for whatever that they haven't done yet. Don't kill the dreams of abantu chasing success. Do yours, Nagindaba Zako, do it to your best. Do yours. Everybody got it, you ain't gotta stress. I know it gets hard, and when it does, Kukanga Madolo, say your prayers and know that he's God. Kunzimu Baneteba, when you haven't got a job or a plot to get to the top, but don't ever stop. If your life is a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay.
Mhlaba uyahlaba leli nameva kodwa kuzodlula Mabelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini Mabelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini Bambelela 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 bambelela
If your life is a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay. My name is Untiga. I'm not alone today. I'm with my good friend of mine, Usande.
Yo.
Say hi to the people.
Sanbonani. My name is Sande, and we're here to push motivation in terms of letting people know that at the end of the road, there's a safer tunnel.
Yes, sir. This song was written long before the time of COVID, but there's never been a better time for this message. For everyone who's going through a difficult time right now, this is the song for you. If you have lost your job, if you have lost your house, if you have lost a bit of your education, your livelihood, whatever it is that you are facing right now and feel that you are struggling with, I know that it gets hard. But Kukanga Matolo, say your prayers and know that he's God. I want you to promise to do one thing. Bambelela. Bambelela.
Bambelela.
Sing some cappella for them, Sunday, so we can go out.
Lomhlaba uyahlaba
yes
leli nameva kodwa kuzodlula
yeah
Bambelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini
one more time
Bambelela bekezela kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenimini
Thank you.
Powerful message, powerful song, and thank you so much, Nsega. Thank you so much, Sunday. I appreciate it. And you know what's crazy about that song? Like they said, it was written way before COVID-19, but the message is stronger now. And with us launching this government-to-government project in partnership with USAID, we know for sure that we're gonna make it through. And you being part of the Yolo program, you being part of the ChommY program, is you adding that fire that we need to actually overcome what is actually in front of us. And like Sunday said, man, there is light at the end of the tunnel. You just got to dig deep and keep on digging. You will prevail. All right, then. I'm going to move over. By that, literally, I'm going to move from being host and I'm going to let the DM be the host. Please welcome Deputy Minister of Department of Social Development, my favorite, my mother, my friend, ChommY, Ipilembo Khopane Zulu.
Wow, ChommY, and thank you so much for all of the speakers. Let me acknowledge the Minister of Social Development, Lindiwe Zulu. Get acknowledge Premier ya KwaZulu Natal, the only province with a surname, and ngithi hey abangithula umthwalo, you know. Babu Zigalala, and I must also say to my two colleagues, Dokotela Nkosi yami, MEC baka Social Development wase Gauteng nwase KZN. Hesh, all the HODs and all DSD team, but let me not forget the people with the money, you know. You can't forget the people with the money. So, Mr. Kruger, the United States government, as well as its people, as well as how can I forget to say high five to Anita, you know? She makes things happen. So, girl, we're in this road together. We're here now, and we're going to make it happen. To say to the people of the United States, thank you for trusting our government with your money, and we promise we're going to make it rock. To ChommY, invest in my future, you know, protect me today. Mara Yolo, you only live once. Even COVID has taught us that. So, you know, it's your choice, it's your life, and behave responsibly. Whatever, when we talk about behaving responsibly, we're also talking to the young people. You know, you are the future. Africa has the youngest population, but also we want to make sure that this youth population of Africa is a blessing to Africa and not a curse. As I say that, I want to thank ChommY, you know, that kept me going when COVID just came and I became positive. It's ChommY that reminded me that I still have a lot of work to do. So I want to thank South Africa. We're now COVID free, we recovered, we can be counted on the ones. And hey, ask us, we're there to support you walk the journey. It's not an easy disease. I must tell you that it was hectic. So I want to thank ChommY and thank Yolo for all your messages. Hey, a lot of South African children were like, yo, get well, get well. For Majita as well, thank you very much, you know. As I do the thanks, I want to say that this government-to-government program, it's a 5-year program. It comes at the cost of $6 million. Yo, that's a lot of money, and we promise, as the department, you've heard from the cities, city of Gauteng, city of Ekurhuleni, and the city of eThekwini, who are the luckiest cities that will be implementing this program. We intend to reach 125,000 young people. And what makes me happy is that ChommY is 10 to 14. So those are our children. You know, when you invest in the future, I can assure you we're going to arrive at the South Africa we all want. So what is it that we are investing in with your money, the American people? And thank you, USAID, for keeping us honest as well, and all your partners that are there, you know, journeying with us. So what is it that is important for me as I stand here, given the responsibility? Thank you, President Ramaphosa, for trusting me. We are saying that with this program, we are not going to allow the 125,000 10-year-old who will be 20 in 2030. I will never meet them at a drug rehabilitation facility. I'm guaranteed that the MECs, as they've committed, the metros are going to make sure that none of these young people we're going to meet them. But I also know for a fact they're never going to become teenage mothers. So no SASSA grant for them. So that is guaranteed. No SASSA grant. They are going to make it in life because we, with your money, America, gonna invest in them. But I also know that they will never test HIV positive. And if they are HIV positive already, either from being sexually abused or being born with it, I know for a fact that they are going to reach out to the support and they are going to contribute actively and beat HIV the same way we are ready to beat COVID. And that's no secret you heard. Untika and they said we must bambelela, no? And we must put on a condom when we want to have fun. Stay on the right side of the law. I'm telling you, you're going to arrive there. To the young people who are about, you know, in that confusion stage, 15 to 17. And I want to add the 1 year because that's when you stop being a child. I remember my daughter said to me when she turned 18 in the morning, before I even could remember it was her birthday, like, oh, mommy, I'm legal. So to all the ones that are going to be legal at 18, just know you're still a child. And I know, I always say it's my rules in my house. So as I said, the rules, when I say to ChommY, I know South Africa's children are having hope. They are excited. And hey, MECs and MMCs, the speakers, as much as the kids are not in school, the president said they need to be fed. So what is it that I expect as the Deputy Minister of Social Development? I want to see them playing diketo. I want to see them playing skipping rope. I want to see them playing kilidimu. I want to see them in those indigenous games, because I know for a sure, ChommY, when they play, they are not going to be disturbed, because they're going to appreciate their childhood, and they are not going to become pregnant or go into mischief, you know. So let's keep them, make sure that as they go and eat in the school, our facilitators, ChommY babagolo, you know, the big ditsalas are able to keep my children safe, because they are saying, I'm 10 years old and I'm 14 years old. If you can only invest in my future and protect me today, protect me from the sugar daddy. So please, you know those men, the day I catch them, we are not going to have a discussion. Trust me, those macho mobile men with money that are disturbing my girls. Chineko, mbam. I'm telling you, I'm coming after them. So if you want to stay out of my way, leave my girls alone. Then you and me, we are going to have peace. So next time, front page, and I'll be telling the whole of South Africa, you are this old man that is disturbing my children. So as we launch this program, we're saying, hands off our children. Stop abusing them sexually or any other. And for the women, hey, as much as we elevate gender-based violence, if you abuse your kid, trust me, you don't want to be on the wrong side of me. So bangani, my pinches, my, you know, we in it together. As we launch this program, we thank USAID 100 folds, because they are helping us to invest in your future, and they are also making sure we are protecting you today, not next week, not next year. But to the young people, you know, those that are not sure, as I said, my daughter said she's legal. Those that are working in the path of being legal, this is what we want to say to you. We want to say to you, drugs are not cool. We want to say to you, HIV today, use a condom, it's a choice. So make the right choice, for you only live once. We also want to say to you, you know, we're on our journey. And this program is going to journey with us for 5 years. And that will be halfway to the 2030 aspirations that we have as South Africans. An AIDS-free South Africa, a gender-based violence-free South Africa. We want to strengthen families, because without a family, we are not going to be able to have these children. We want to make sure our orphaned and vulnerable children are never actually being reminded that they don't have parents, but they are actually living in a South Africa that is promising them the world, and we can. So on behalf of the Department of Social Development, in our multifolds from national, province, district, local, we're ready, very, very ready to make sure that our young people don't abuse alcohol, they make the right choices, they don't get infected with HIV, but we're also very ready, South Africa, to make sure that the future of this country is guaranteed. So in whatever you go through, right now, your job, the hunger, the inconvenience of wearing a mask, always remember, it's not about you. It's about you protecting others. So, as the song said, and I'm saying, Anita, Mr. Crook, this is the song that we would like every South African to hear. And we know that we've endorsed this song as the department under the same program, and we're expecting that we elevate these young people to be the ones that spread the message that no matter what, hang in there. Whether you test positive, hang in there. Whether you lose your job, hang in there. Because we know, kuzondrula, kuzolunga, all you need to do, for Mr. Crook now. You know, Bambelela, you must practice the word. It means hang in there. That's now like a direct translation. So I would like to also hear the young people in the United States singing this very song in unity with South Africans, actually saying Bambelela, Kuzolunga, and acknowledging that the journey of being a child, a young person, an adult, it's not an easy journey. The choices you need to make, the support you need along the way, all of these are, linked together. And as we would say it, Bambelela. So I can't wait for that day when South African young people and American young people can seal the deal as children, as young people, to say Bambelela, hang in there, Kuzolunga, because the world will become a better place because of the generation we are going to implement, and the generation that we are going to respect, and the generation that we are able and ready to invest in South Africa's future. With those few words, South Africa, allow me to welcome a very, very energetic premier. One that has passion for the people of KwaZulu-Natal. Young, energetic, that I know he is going to make sure ChommY's future are protected. He is going to make sure the young people make the right choices, even though it's their lives, and that they can make all the bad choices. But with his leadership in KwaZulu-Natal, I want to confirm and say, I know without a fear or favor that he will lead this program. It will be a success, and South Africa's future will be guaranteed. Let's welcome Ntate Sihle Zikalala.
Thank you, Program Director, Deputy Minister of Social Development, Ms. Mahupane Zulu, the Minister of Social Development in our country, Minister Lindiwe Zulu, the two MECs, the MEC for Social Development in KwaZulu-Natal, MEC Khoza, and MEC for Social Development in Gauteng, MEC Dr. Mokheti, the US Aid Mission Director, Mr. Kruke, youth NPOs present, the officials of the departments, ladies and gentlemen, compatriots and all, we wish to take this opportunity to welcome this bold initiative by the US government, which through its developmental agency, USAID, has worked closely with the Department of Social Development in the country to identify KwaZulu-Natal as a recipient of this aid. As indicated, the Department of Social Development has developed programs for children aged between 10 and 17-year-old with the support of USAID through the government-to-government project. The program is part of the national effort to strengthen the DSD's capacity to scale up the implementation of the primary prevention of sexual violence and HIV/AIDS activities among the generation of the 10 to 17-year-old. And therefore, it will be correct for me to equally thank you, Minister Zulu, the Minister of Social Development, that in what you do, you also consider KwaZulu-Natal, given a plethora of social challenges that we face now and again. We are pleased that the national government have correctly identified us as one of the two provinces that will be the recipient of this financial support together with Gauteng province. We welcome this agreement because in KwaZulu-Natal, we know that development and health are closely intertwined. In line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on health, our government is fully committed to quality and affordable health care for all, especially women and children. The decision to choose KwaZulu-Natal, we view it as the base of this program is also based on the understanding that issues we face with regard to HIV and AIDS are more challenging. In our SOPA in March, we announced that we had already made significant inroad in the fight against HIV and AIDS and underage pregnancies in the province. Government is already implementing a brand new HIV and AIDS awareness program, which is aimed at achieving an HIV/AIDS free generation. We are equally rolling out more programs of awareness and prevention, which are to be kept alive with fresh, engaging, and relevant messages directed to the public, especially the younger generation, focused or targeted by this program. We have made ARVs treatment accessible to all those who need it. In fact, the 3 districts in KwaZulu-Natal, which are Ugu, Umkhanyakude, and Umzinyathi, have become the first in the country to meet the ambitious UNAIDS 90-90-90 target to help end the AIDS pandemic. Amajuba, King Tshwayo, Umgungundlovu, Uthukela, Zululand, and eThekwini are expected to follow these 3 during the course of this year. We are now working on the 95 strategy in line with our national government framework. But also, we are focusing on members of the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, Q and intersex communities to continue face obstacles when it comes to accessing healthcare. They face frequent prejudice, homophobia, and violence. Our government has therefore introduced a groundbreaking program known as Fabulous About Health to address the challenges faced by this sector. By the same token, we have strongly condemned the ill treatment and disregard for the rights of patients and their families by some of our healthcare workers based on this discrimination. As the province of KwaZulu-Natal, we are delighted to welcome the support from USAID, and we believe that this program will go a long way in alleviating the challenges we face. This has been evident in areas, the support of UNAID has been evident in a number of other areas, such as eradication of poverty, health, education, trade, agriculture, and food security. And we would want to thank the USAID for this support which they've offered to us in various sectors of socio-economic development. We can say without any fear of contradiction that the world is undoubtedly becoming a better place today as a result of partnerships that our national government continues to engage on with other countries. As KwaZulu-Natal province, we are grateful to be considered. Over these years, the bounds of partnership and cooperation between governments continues to grow significantly and has impacted seriously in the socio-economic development of our people. The support programs have translated in many lives being saved through the provision of such financial support. We can say without any fear of contradiction that as KwaZulu-Natal, we will take advantage of this to ensure that this program reach the intended beneficiaries. We want to say ours is the creation of a world where poverty is eradicated and uprooted, where social ills are uprooted from the society, and where young girls live freely and are able to unleash their potential irrespective of their location. Honorable Minister and the representative of USAID, we wish to register our high appreciation for being part of this program. We thank you.
Thank you very much, Premier, and thank you very much to all of the MECs. Yeah, I think I'm very implementing this program and working on it over the years as we were sorting out the agreements, the grant funding, and introducing and testing it has always been an amazing experience. And I always thank, let me thank her in advance, you know. We did asebenzelanga ekhaya, and you know the two Zulus, me and the minister did not work as tatang imali and send it to KZN Premier. KZN was selected because of its high prevalence, but also because of the successful programs that they are running. That is important for us to meet them halfway. And Gauteng was not selected because we all live here. No, no, no. It's because it is the economic hub of South Africa. And we need to make sure that the children growing in Gauteng are going to be ensuring that our economic hub and the center, the cosmopolitan Gauteng, even though the gold won't be there maybe, but they are also there. Let me also make a call to all the non-profit organizations. You are going to be our implementing partners on this program. So check out the adverts, follow, apply. If you believe you are going to secure South Africa's future, if you believe you have the energy to keep up ChommY, to invest in their future, protect them today, if you have the energy as an NPO to work with young people, Yolo, to make sure that they make the right choices, to make sure that they remember to act responsibly because they have one life to live. To Mr. Kruger, USAID team, USAID family, and as I said, I always have to make a shout out to Anita, you know, because, hey, me and her must find each other. But also I want to thank the minister. I think if there's one minister that's having it hard to keep up with somebody like me, you know. Sometimes I think I have ADHD. But I know that if you work with somebody that has the positive energy that the minister has, it always rubs on you, and somehow we balance each other out. So to the young people, let's welcome Melindiwe Zulu, the Minister of Social Development, as she takes the platform to commit alongside me, the premiers, the MECs, the MMCs of both the districts and the local, to say together, as social development, we're going to build a caring, self-sustainable South Africa together. But not only that, we are going to make sure you leave our children alone. Minister, you have the floor.
To you, DM, maybe they just have to get used. I keep saying the Zulus are on their stoop, so we are on the stoop again today. Thank you very much to the Premier who just spoke, and I must apologize that I was not able to join from the very beginning. We are in Parliament and we're dealing with the appropriations bill, and that's very important because that means we must ensure that our budgets are properly passed and we have the resources that we need to pass to make sure that we are able to do our work. I also want to thank the MECs for social development who are here, both the MEC Koza and Dr. Mukherjee. I'm not sure whether the Ekurhuleni mayor was able to be here, so maybe I should just say the USAID mission director and representatives. I'm not sure if Africa Tikkun is here. You'll forgive me because I wasn't here in the beginning to get all the necessary salutations. I do want to say that at this point in time, from a global point of view, but also from an African point of view and a country point of view, with SADC as us being in that region, I believe that it is a time for us to unite as people, but also to mobilize
our communities to take charge of their safety and their well-being by reducing the infections and prevention of deaths. We can see that as a country, we are among the top 10. I think we are the 5th in as far as this is concerned, as far as COVID-19, the deaths and infections are concerned. And so I think that we have to do our best to make sure that we work together in ensuring that we deal with this. When all is said and done, why we are here today is simply because we have people who are looking at us outside of our continent and looking at what is it that they can do to support us. And from that point of view, then I would like to thank USAID for stepping up and assisting us. And I'm hoping that, well, not even I'm hoping, I know that USAID has been working with us for a very long time, since 1994 to today, in assisting us, particularly in the areas where we face challenges as a nation. I do want to also say that when we talk about social behavior, when I talk about mobilization of our communities in order for them to be able to protect themselves, it is about ensuring that people individually, collectively, house to house, street to street, community to community, they help each other in understanding and appreciation of what our challenge is, that is specifically with regard to COVID-19, and what we can do in order to fight it. So I think that if we mobilize at that level, hence President Cyril Ramaphosa speak to us about the district development model, because it enables us to deal with the issue at that level, at developmental level. But I think I also want to thank representatives from ChommY, Yolo, in particular. I just joined when there was a bit of a performance. And the message I want to say to young people, you see Premier Zigalala, who are speaking to you here. You see the DM who are speaking to you here. You see the MEC who are speaking to you here. These are the people who wake up every day of their lives to be of service to the people of South Africa. And these are the people who are a generation of people that struggles to bring South Africa to where it is today. That is a democratic, non-racial and non-sexist South Africa, but obviously we're still far from being a completely non-racial country. We're still very far from being a non-sexist country. But these people that were speaking to you, I need you to be able as young people to appreciate and understand that they walk this journey for no other reason other than to make sure that South Africa becomes a better country tomorrow. So I want to say to young people, do not get yourselves diverted by people who say that young people are apolitical, young people are lost generation, young people are all the negatives that people talk about. I don't believe in that. I don't believe that young people are apolitical. I don't believe that we have a lost generation. I believe that each and every generation, like the people I'm talking to you about, were part and parcel of a generation that decided that we wanted to change South Africa from apartheid to a democratic South Africa. And they've walked the journey not only of the liberation, but they've also joined the journey of democracy, the journey of democratizing, the journey of building institutions of governance, the journey of fighting all social ills in our country, the journey of empowerment, the journey of creating a future for the younger generation. Yours is to focus on what is it that these people who are speaking to you today have done in their lives to bring us to where we are today. What is it that you are going to do to take over and be able to carry the struggle to the next level? And a struggle that appreciates that there are social ills in society. And those social ills need us to work together, to appreciate that there are challenges in governance, in community, in society, in family, in individuals. What is it that we can do to make sure that we change that? And therefore, we are here today having decided on the 2 provinces, and thank you, Premier, for your kind words. These 2 provinces must be the shining example of this program that is being supported by USAID. And I can say to USAID, one of the things that we want to do in the best way that we can is to call for international support, but also make sure that we are accountable for whatever we get from you, whether it's financial or any otherwise. We will be accountable for that. And when we choose these 2 provinces, we want to see this growing to other provinces too. But these provinces must be the shining example of a support and what needs to be done when we get the support. The other issue I want to raise also is to say that we are here because we need to help our communities, our citizens to reach their potential. And the only way they can be able to reach their potential is firstly for us as government to, when we make promises, we keep those promises. And the Department of Social Development cannot work alone because the well-being of South Africans is dependent on what the Premier, for instance, of KZN decides to do in terms of government programs and directing everyone. It's about issues of health, it's about issues of education, it's about issues of human settlement, it's about issues of transport. So the Premier and the MECs stand as the pillar of people who are supposed to look at us as the social development and say, in order for social development to be effective, we need to then do all the other things. It is also about investing in people. So we are here today because we're trying to invest in the support of our people. We are here also because we are supposed to remove any barrier that might be there in assisting our people to grow, in assisting our people to for social competence, in assisting our people with the necessary skills and all that. So what I want to say today, because I didn't get to hear all the speakers, I don't want to be repeating everyone, some things that have been said before. Safe to say that today's meeting obviously is critical for South Africa, as we are regarded as a country with more HIV infection as compared to other countries globally. And the Human Science and Research Council always gives us the data, and we know what that is. But also it's a day to say, on a positive note, the estimated number of mother-to-child transmissions declined by 80% between 2004 and 2017. Meanwhile, many people have been able to access antiretroviral treatments to suppress the virus. We still have more work to do. And one of the things I need to say here is that while we are busy really doing our best with regard to COVID-19, I've been saying to the department, do not forget that there are other things that are a problem for our country. Let's not deal with COVID-19 and focus everything here, and then only when either a vaccine or something happens, we go back only to find that other systems which were supposed to be supportive of our people have collapsed. I don't want to go into the issue of the issues of lack of knowledge, early sexual debut, gender-based violence, and femicide, all those issues that were spoken to before. I don't want to go into that because I'm sure many of the speakers spoke to that. The partnership between the Department of Social Development and USAID must therefore not focus only into economic benefits which come in the form of funding. Our partnership must be maintained by the need to bring an element of behavioral change amongst our people. Here, starting from where I said earlier on, that is about empowering our people. I believe that information that is communicated to our people must be empowering to them. We cannot be policing people about wearing the mask, keeping the distance, washing their hands, sanitization. We must keep on messaging about that. But when all is said and done, it's about our communities and individuals in our society realizing the danger and making sure that they stick to what is happening now. Our long-standing partnership with USAID cannot be taken lightly, as it assisted the department to introduce behavioral change campaigns such as you only live once, Yolo and ChommY. We appreciate this cooperation, which can be traced as far back as 2013, whereby government capacity building support projects program led to an improved access to health and social services to our communities. So I just want, in conclusion, to say thank you, USAID, for having confidence in the department's capacity to contribute into the national cause of reducing new HIV infections. We have shown their confidence by extending your partnership with the Department of Social Development for the next 5 years. This basically means that the 5-year project between the department and USAID, which commenced in October last year, will now end in September 2024. And I think that one of the things that normally becomes a challenge is the monitoring and evaluation of our programs. We cannot wait until the end of the program to see the impact that this program is bringing upon our people. But more than anything else, we are in partnership. We commit ourselves to transparency. We commit ourselves to ensuring that this program is monitored and evaluated according to the agreement and all, so that when all is said and done at the end, we can see where we started and where we are. With those words, I wish to thank you for having invited me here and to say to the two provinces, we are in this together. And Minister, both MECs will tell you, Premier Zigalala, that I do my best to make sure that is continuous communication between myself and the MECs, because I really, really believe implementation does not sit with us at national. It sits with provincial, it sits with local. So the more we empower the local structures, the more we give the resources and other means to the provinces, we will focus in terms of implementation, we'll focus on policy issues, we'll focus on monitoring and evaluation, but we will leave the bulk of the implementation to the MECs, and the MECs will then go down to the local structures, because that's where the power should be. Thank you very much.
Endleni ngameva kodwa kuzodlula Babelena bekasena kuzolunga kuzokhanya nakuwe.
Oh man, it's officially open, it's officially launched, the government to government project in partnership with USAID. And to give us a vote of thanks is government to government technical advisor Mema Tsidiso Pule.
Thank you. May I align myself with the acknowledgements and protocol done? In other words, protocol observed. All being said at this launch, this day would have not been as successful without your presence. We therefore wish to applaud your presence, leaving your busy schedules to be with us virtually and physically. Minister of Social Development, KZN Premier, Deputy Minister, KZN MEC, Gauteng MEC, representatives from Ekurhuleni COJ and eThekwini Metros, HODs, USAID Mission Director, Chief Director HIV/AIDS, our speakers implementing and benefiting from the project, our main launch program director, KZN Program Director, Gauteng Program Director, we thank you. DM, thank you for walking the path with us. We will also wish to thank the audience, participants, organizers, DSD Communications, media, and host today. But over and above this, we thank the South African government and the United States of America government for this agreement. We thank you.
Oh, yes.
And would you believe it? We are officially done and dusted with our launch, and I look forward to the next 5 years with what ChommY is going to do and what Yolo has already started doing in and around our communities. And it is very important for you as parents to play your part in encouraging the young ones, and it's also important for the young ones to also be respectful to their elders and always, by all means, follow their dreams and be respectful at that. From my side, Smash Africa for the babies. As I always say, man, I don't do this for myself. I do it because I want to leave it better for the next generations to come. And government to government is doing exactly that. And this is how we wrap it up with Bambelela, the music video, music from Ntiga featuring Sunday.
Yo, it's 2020, and I'm saddened by the states I see. Way too many people still dying from HIV. We got ARVs, but there's still a lot of blood in these streets. Still a lot of kids with no parents. So much going on, so before you go and have fun, put a condom on. Also, have fun, right side of the law. Me, I've known a few thugs, and the law got them all. But Kulu got killed. Ulumkile had skills, so they got us shot, and the Kwame got nabbed. It's kinda sad how I cannot even drink much, cause I'm still traumatized by my alcoholic dad, who still gets affected. I know I do tested. Half the youth doing drugs like they got a death wish. Death wish, death wish. Take a moment to reflect on how you live the life you're blessed with. If your life is a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay. Think about that next time you're on Twitter, next time you deliver another killer blow to somebody's confidence and get rid of all their inner strength for whatever that they haven't done yet. Don't kill the dreams of abantu chasing success. Do yours. Nagidabazako, do it to your best. Do yours. Everybody got it. You ain't gotta stress. I know it gets hard, and when it does, kukanga madolo, say your prayers and know that he's God. Kunzimu banetemba when you haven't got a job or a plot to get to the top, but don't ever stop. If your life is a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay.
Leli nameva kodwa kuzodlula Mabelela, bekezela, kuzolunga. Kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenyimenge. Hey, mabelela, bekezela, kuzolunga. Kuzokhanya nakuwe ngenyimenge.
It's a mess, everything is gonna be okay. And even if it's not, tell yourself that everything is gonna be okay.